Let's go.
This is the Metal Roofing Learning Channel, brought to you by Western States Metal Roofing, one of the industry's best manufacturers of metal roofing and siding. With over 110 different colors and finishes to choose from, download a free color catalog today and learn how you can save by buying factory direct at westernstatesmetalroofing.com.
So today I'm here with Mark Fields, the purchasing manager from Western States Metal Roofing, and we're here to discuss a steel market update. And as we sit today, it's April 24th. So Mark, can you discuss the impact of the tariffs to date, please?
I think the tariffs have made people kind of sit back at this point. I think in the beginning they were wanting to make sure they had enough material to keep going. The demand, from what I can tell, has not been crazy on the market. So I think we're at the point now where a lot of people are just sitting back. What's going to happen before they make any decisions for big purchases for their inventories?
So if we look at year to date, from the beginning of the year to now, from before the tariffs were announced to since they've been announced, things have gone up 5%, 20%. What have things gone up to date right now?
I'd say on the steel right now, we're probably seeing about a 10 to 15% increase
from year to date. And then things have stabilized, at least probably for the next month or two, you think?
That would be my guess. It definitely stabilized. We're not seeing as much shifting of pricing. So that would be my guess. We're good for a little bit here, barring any alarming announcements.
So Mark, the second thing that's coming down the pipeline is the anti-dumping. I know on August 4th, they determined 10 countries. The probably four most notable would be Canada, Mexico, Vietnam, and Taiwan that they've determined likely have sold steel in the U.S. at less than fair value. What is the ramifications of this, and when are you going to start to see some results based on this initial investigation?
Well, I think right now you're probably already seeing people shifting their purchasing, where they're buying their material from, which countries. They probably have a pretty good guess on which countries are going to be hit the hardest. And it's not a matter, I think, of a country being hit. It's how hard they hit. What are the anti-dumping duties for that specific country? And I think people have a pretty good idea of that right now. So I think when we get into August, you're going to see the talking and aspect of it, people talking about it and worried about it. And I think you might see some people start to make some purchasing there. But I think most people in this industry are pretty familiar with the anti-dumping duties are going to hit the hardest, and they'll just stay away from them. But as a world economy, I think there's going to be there's the potential for shortness or
price increases based on domestic mills having more materials needed, and then they raise their prices as a result of this.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm looking here, it looks like August 18th is when there's going to be a final determination on that. So we're probably just more or less in a wait and see pattern until then. Is that accurate?
Yeah, for the most part. Other than probably some of the companies that are purchasing are shifting a little bit, maybe they used to buy from Vietnam and now they've decided right now because you figure orders placed today are coming in August, September. Right. So they got to get their orders in to get their material in time. So they're probably looking at shifting to other countries.
Or domestic.
Right. Or domestic, definitely.
So we have three things we're facing now. We have the tariffs, we have the possible anti-dumping, and recently we've got some paint cost increases that have come around. Now, how much has the cost of the paint and coatings itself gone up?
The cost of the paint and coatings has gone up about 5%.
And when you look at the finished overall product, how much of an impact is that on the finished overall product?
I'd say about 2.5%, 3%, maybe right around there.
Okay, do you foresee a lot of increases in that, or do you think this is likely to be more of a one-time increase here, at least in the near future?
I think that the potential based on tariffs is that there could be another hit on the paint and the coating, getting it coated, because there's so many supplies that go with just the paint. You remember like COVID, I think we had an issue with the resins and
Oh
it
yeah.
really impacted that. I think what the potential is out there with these tariffs, because there's solvents and chemicals that are part of the
Yeah.
paint. And when you start adding all that in, it can drive up the price pretty good. So I mean, I don't think it'll go crazy, but people are shifting, just like the steel industry, shifting their supply sources around and trying to be ready for it. It'll be increase, maybe another 5, 10,
Yeah.
but I don't think we'll have the demand issues, where people are struggling just to get the
The resins.
right.
As a result of the tariffs, as a result of possible anti-dumping, once the prices are raised for the other countries and the foreign steel, the domestic manufacturers always follow suit with their own increases, right?
Yeah, I mean, historically, it's always been that way. It's just the like simple supply and demand, because your supply is going to go down, so the price is going to go up.
All right, so Mark, in conclusion, over the next month or two, probably going to be pretty stable, no reason to worry about a whole lot. But as we get to that middle of August date where they're going to come up with the result of the anti-dumping, as we get closer to seeing the impacts of the tariffs, could be some major changes, correct?
And definitely, and it's that's what talking about the uncertainty of it all is that we cannot definitively say, but the potential is definitely there. And even in the next couple months, I would encourage people to get in touch with us and just say, hey, is there any changes coming up? Has anything changed since we saw your video? Or just, I think if you stay educated and do some investigation on your own, that you can see what you need to do for your jobs.
And Mark, I want to thank you today for your insight, and to everybody watching the video. We are going to come out with another one as we hear a little more about the anti-dumping and if the tariffs have any significant effects here in the near future.